Hey guys, I'm up on Mount Precipice. Actually, it has kind of a funnier name in Hebrew. I'll tell you about that in a second. But now, once you see that view behind me, I want to switch it. I want to go to the other, show you this view. This is the city of Nazareth. Actually, up on the right over there is a different city where I kind of see the new buildings. It was called Nazareth Elite, or like Upper Nazareth, and then they changed it to Nofa Galil, or the view of the Galilee. But all this in front of us is Nazareth. It's the biggest city in the Galilee. But all that was coming. Don't think in the time of Jesus that it was very big. I want to show you about the size it was during the time of Jesus. So we're going to zoom in here on the Church of the Annunciation. And where I can see it with my eyes, I can't see it through the camera. There we go. Okay, this very large building right here, the largest church in the Middle East, is the Church of Annunciation, built in I think 1965, actually by an Israeli company, and that sits on top of some caves that people lived in. Now the tradition in the church is that Mary, obviously Joseph and Jesus, lived in the caves underneath that church. But there are some caves from that time that they lived in. Now, if we go a little bit to the left of that, you'll see a little bitty kind of orange, see a little bitty dome right there, that orange one. Now, that is the Greek Church of the Annunciation, because pretty much everywhere where you're going to have a Catholic church of something, you're going to have a Greek Orthodox one pretty close to it, at least here anyway. And what's significant about that is that sits on top of the spring, which they call Mary Spring. Of course, they didn't call it that 2,000 years ago, but the spring of Nazareth. So you see it there. So the original Nazareth is just about like around the area of the church, and then going to the left a little bit, up and down. If you just kind of drew a rough circle around there, that would be kind of like Nazareth 2,000 years ago. And 2,000 years ago, they weren't concerned about living up on top. So now you see the top of the church, of the city. That was a little bit too far out. And there's a mosque up there, because today most of the city is Arab. That's an important correction I need to make. All the city is Arab today. Most of the city is Muslim. It was majority Arab Christian for many years. But today most of the city is Muslim, and they decided to build a mosque up on the top of the hill. Several years ago, they were actually planning to build a mosque right in front of the Church of the Annunciation, but the local Arab Christians managed to stop that along with the Israeli government. Let's see. Oh yeah, so 2,000 years ago, you don't want to, not even 2,000, like 200 years ago, you don't care about living on the top of the hill. You don't care about living in the bottom. What you care about is living around the water source. So this water source, as I mentioned earlier, is that little Greek Orthodox church to the left of the Catholic Church of the Annunciation. There's the church right there, that little dome there. There's a spring up there, still has water coming out of it today. So people wanted to live close to that because they don't have piped. They don't have piped water. So anytime they need water, they got to go to the well and bring it. So you want to live as close as possible. So that's where the original Nazareth was. Now we're up on this hill. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Mount Precipice. And the story that takes place here, let me kind of show you the other side, is a story that the Jews of the town of Nazareth, of course it's a Jewish town back then, and basically a lot of times in the New Testament when it refers to the Jews, it's referred to the Jews that didn't believe in Jesus, even though technically they're all Jews. The first Jesus was Jewish, obviously, and the first Christians were Jewish, the disciples were Jewish. That's going to go over here. This is called Mount Precipice. In Hebrew, I like the name better. It's called Har HaKfitza, Mount of the Jumping. So there's a tradition here, like this sign too, so you realize where I'm going. There's a tradition here that the religious Jews in the city come to confront Jesus, and the tradition here is that he jumped off the mountain. Now, if you're watching this and you read your Bible or your Gospels a few times, that's going to sound a little funny, because it's never happened in the Gospels. It's just some kind of local tradition. In the Bible, it tells us that he just turned around and walked through the crowd. And what's interesting about that, if I look back and we show you how far Nazareth is from here, is that this is on a Sabbath, and it's actually more than a Sabbath day's walk to get here. So those that came out here to accuse Jesus of blasphemy and, throw him off the cliff or stone him, actually would needed to stone themselves, because they also walked further than a Sabbath journey and committed sin. Now, what we're looking over now is the Jezreel Valley. This has really always been a breadbasket to whoever's controlling the country. Especially today, you can see all the farmland. And if I go over to my left to the east, Sea of Galilee is that way. Jesus will actually walk from Nazareth, with Nazareth behind us, over the backside of that hill, going to Capernaum. That mountain right there is Mount Tavo in Hebrew, or you say Mount Tabor. And that's a traditional site of the Transfiguration. I say traditional site because there's some other scholars that think that perhaps the real Transfiguration happened on the Mount Hermon, and maybe I have to do another video on that another time, or actually I think I have already done another video on that, but I'll do another one. This is the modern city of Afula down here. Now, across on the other side, we have Megiddo, and we'll go over there later today, and hopefully I'll be able to do a little video from there. The reason why I'm been able to do these videos lately is because I am with two Spanish speakers. One speaks English also, but one does not. And so I kind of talk about the things I want to talk to, and then I have a translator who's a good friend of mine and a pastor, and then he talks about what he wants to talk about in Spanish, so I just go over here and do a video. Now, what I want to show you, it's over here. Okay, so go over this way. That over there is the Carmel Mountains near Haifa, and you guys, let me see if I can prop this camera up on this pole. Okay. You guys that might sound familiar to you, because that is where Elijah will face off with the prophets of Baal, and we're going to try to make it over there today. So I don't want to talk too much about that, but there you go, the Jezreel Valley. I'll get it some video of other views of it today. Also about Mount Tabor, Mount Tavo is also, if you remember the story of Deborah and Barak from Judges, they actually come down from Mount Tavo, cross the Jezreel Valley, and are going to have a fight. It's called the Battle of Megiddo, and there you guys might remember the story of Yael, who Sisera is fleeing, and she's going to offer him some milk, and he's going to fall asleep, and then she's going to drive a tent peg through his head. Oh, we got a pretty big bird up there. I don't think I could, if I zoom in, it was going to be a little bit chaotic. But yeah, there you go, Jezreel Valley, Mount Carmel, and the distance Megiddo over there to the left is south more, and then the modern city of Nazareth behind us.